Yes, it's that time of year. It's time. Oh, I got to turn my volume down. Coach, see, we haven't even started the first.
Supposed to hold me back.
Yeah, not even the first episode here, and I've already. We're at Circuit World in East Ellijay. I'm your host, BKP. Welcome to Season 4 of 2017 GIlmer Bobcat Turf Talk, presented by Team FYN Sports. We're at Circuit World in East Ellijay, and we want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing the meal every year, 4 years, Coach. We want to really thank them.
Yes,
appreciate it. So always go over there and tell them thank you for supporting Bobcat football. I have with me now Bobcats head coach, Casey Wingard. It's his first year driving the bus here, and then defensive coordinator, what's her name? Coach Flowers? I remember you from last year, right? Coach Flowers. Glad to have you back, defensive coordinator Coach Flowers, with us again this year. And we have on the couch right now Blake Bunton. He is a senior wide receiver, and Avery Bertolini, junior wide receiver. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Good? Okay. Just that's a mic test. Okay. Say hello to David.
Hello, David. At the same time.
I talk.
Huh?
I talk.
Folks, before we get started, this is our first episode this year of Bobcat Turf Talk, and we're talking Quad A Region 6 football. Let's just give you a rundown as the season goes on. And that includes Ridgeland, Heritage, Lafayette, Southeast Whitfield, Northwest Whitfield, and Pickens County. Coach, let's start out this year. This is your first year as the head coach from the beginning. Your team, I'm going to say, this is you're able to come in, put your stamp on it, put your staff together, get your program together. Tell us a little bit of what happened during preseason, getting ready for this year, and some of the things that you've changed in your football program this year.
Well, we started out with winter workouts. Of course, in February, we went 3 days a week there and invited the rising ninth graders out over to the high school. And we started just doing fundamental drills and stuff and just working with some of the younger kids and the older kids coming back. And then when we went into that, of course, we had spring, had a good showing for spring. We changed some things a little bit on offense and defense. And then going into summer, you know, we set the schedule and calendar, gave it to the kids, texted it to the kids, and had them showing up, taking roll, holding them accountable, and it went really well.
Coach, glad to have you back. I was joking around a little bit. Glad to see you back, Coach Flowers, defensive coordinator. Again, this year you're able to come in this year, start fresh, even in the preseason through summer workouts, and put the defense in place that you plan to work through several years. Tell us a little bit about your defensive scheme this year and what you got going on with the Bobcats.
Yeah, we were able to, just bring everybody together and just start square one and talk about leverage and technique and, really focus on all the fundamentals and take time to install it, because last year we installed pretty much the whole defense, or as much as we could install in 2 weeks, and, we focused on scheme, but this year we really wanted to focus on the fundamentals and the small things, and that's something we preach to the guys all the time. Take care of the small things, and that big stuff will take care of itself.
Well, guys, whoever wants to go first, the reality is the Bobcats are rebuilding right now and going through a phase of restructuring. Talk a little bit about the attitude and what it's like this year on the field. Take off.
It's a lot of team, together, that we're all in this together, and we just got to fight together, and we got to get through this, and we're going to win a couple of games. Everybody
keeping a good attitude?
Now,
you both are wide receivers. You're working with David, the quarterback. Can he hit you? I mean, I know David. I love David, and we all love David. I mean, let's talk about David. Am I wrong, Coach? Am I in trouble?
No, not at all.
Keep going.
Y'all can talk about it. I'm not going to.
No, I mean, how is it working with David this year? David's a junior. He's got a couple of years behind him. So how is that going?
It's fun seeing how much he's progressed since his freshman year, seeing how he's actually getting used to varsity rather than being scared like he was at his freshman year.
Coach, on the defensive side, I mean, let's talk about Friday night. I mean, we've got to go into that water coming off a pretty tough loss to the Fannin Rebels 42-0. Defensively, what are some of the things you have to work on? Because obviously, putting your defense together this year, running some 7-on-7, some scrimmage work, but there's nothing like that actual game and grinding it out. So what are some of the things you got to work on this week that showed up Friday night?
You know, one thing that we've been preaching on is, you know, going back to the small things, is just those details, and we showed a lot of film and showed them, you know, on a lot of plays, we were, you know, this far from making a good play, and a lot of those, you know, could have been good plays turned into bad plays. And so we've just been, you know, preaching that, hey guys, the scheme's not going to change, you know, our fundamentals are not going to change, and, you know, if schemes ever break down, you know, your fundamentals are not going to break down. Those small things are not going to break down. And so if we just keep on focusing on those and harping on those, we'll eventually become consistent enough to where, you know, we can perform well in a game.
Coach, let me go that same direction with you. Coming off this, not putting any points on the board, not really getting the offense turned up. What are the takeaways from Friday night and some of the things that you just come home and they immediately went on the chalkboard and said, hey, this is the 1, 2, 3 we have to deal with this week?
Yes. When we looked at it, of course, looking at film, that always tells the truth, what was actually happening. You know, you can see it pretty good from the box, but you can't see everything, and then also on the sideline. So we went back and looked at film and everything, and it was kind of one of those, you know, angles, fundamentals, doing the things that, you know, they would coach up to do, hitting the right hole. You know, just adjusting a little bit like that, and that's stuff we got to work on ourselves for the offensive side of the ball. Being able, just little things here and there that added up to, you know, the first half of the game, getting some positive yards, and then after that it kind of, you know, breaking down. So we got to go back with our group offensively and just focus on the small things with everything, so that they can aim and understand that that's where they hit, that's what they're supposed to, that's their aiming point, that's their goal when they hear the play in the huddle.
Guys, let me ask you, I always say that to move forward you have to own it. It's I always say every week, every show that I do, I talk to the players. I say you got to own what happened on the field. So how's that going for the team this week? Coming back and saying, hey, we got to own this. This is what the result was, and this is what we got to work on. So watching film and things like that, how's the attitude on the field and practice this week? Each one of you, give me an answer on that.
Well, people learned what they were doing wrong. So, like, for example, our fullbacks, they were not hitting the right hole. If they would have hit the right hole, they would have got better yards rather than going backwards. So in practice, they really tried fixing it rather than just being like, yeah, whatever, coach doesn't know what he's talking about. They really wanted to actually get better.
I like hearing that. Because I always say you got to own it, right, Coach?
Yeah,
I mean, you got to go home and you got to own it to move forward. What about yourself?
I mean, last week, you can't change it. It's we're looking at this week like we're 0-0. This is a new week.
Before we get the other guys in here, we got a couple more minutes. Let me ask both of you. You're going to have your first home game this year, 2017, on the turf, and you're going to be hosting the Union Panthers. So as wide receivers, we don't want to give anything up, but looking on, it's only Tuesday, but you're already looking at some film, seeing what you got in their secondary and what you're up against this week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Coach, what are some of the things, we're going to get into it in the second half also, but what are some of the things for this home game? Union Panthers coming in. Brian Allison, good coach, good program, solid program coming to town. What are some of the things that you see this week that you're up against?
You know, they're well coached, very talented team. They, you know, offensively they can hit fast and get outside with some speed, and defensively kind of keep you guessing with everything. So just our kids being ready and being prepared, having that first game under their belt, having the first varsity game under their belt, you know, which I think was a big step for us, because across the board that was one of our accomplishments and goals. Really just to get that first varsity game under a lot of the kids' belt. Looking forward to working on ourselves this week, little things like that, getting ready for Friday. And that's what we've been preaching to the kids, and that's what we've been doing as a coaching staff.
Coach, the Panthers, I think his name's Cole, and I don't forget him because he ran me over last year out of bounds. He floored me, okay? Kid from Union. Never forget him. He helped me up, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said, I'm sorry, he helped me up, okay? But The quarterback can leave the box. You're up against, your defense is up this week. For sure, you're talking to the kids, but this guy up in Union County, he can take off and he can put it in the yards as much as he can in the air. So what are you looking at trying to contain this guy this week?
Yeah, we've talked about number 8 a lot. He's a very good player. He's got a great arm, very accurate. He's got a lot of moves. He can run vertical up the field. He can leave the pocket and score touchdowns. Did that several times against Raven Gap. One thing that we've preached a lot is, guys, even though that it's a pass play, it may turn into a run play at any time.
Right.
And so, we've got to respect him and, not leave anybody else unrespected, because they also have a great running back in number 24. Very efficient receivers that know the system, grew up in the system now. Brian's been there for a long time, and their O-line is, very good as well. So,
hey guys, before we take our break, I appreciate you guys coming in and sitting down with us. I do 4 shows a week. I ask everybody that sits down the same question, okay? And so before we go to our break, I want to ask you, Mr. Bunton, what can you do better this week? What did you come in and say, I can do better this week, I can work on?
I felt like I started off slow, majorly on defense, because I don't know why. I just felt like it was not really with me going and trying to hit. But as the game progressed, I realized I actually have to go up and do something, because if I don't do it, then no one's going to be there to make the play.
Mr. Burley, same question. What can you do better? When you showed up to practice, started watching film, what did you come in and say, I can do better this week?
I felt like I made a lot of good reads, but I was just so close on a couple picks that I got to make, and just making more plays. Making more plays? Cool. Well, guys, I wish you well. I'll be on the sideline. I was on the sideline the other night. I'll be on the sideline again. I look forward to it, being at Huff Mosley Stadium, Pettit Field. Did I get that right, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to take a brief break. This is our first half of the show. We're going to take a brief break here on Bobcat Turf Talk. And as soon as we come back, again, we want to thank Shane's Rib Shack for providing the meal. And we're here at Circuit World at East Ellijay. And I didn't ask the manager, but I'm going to go ahead and roll it out. If you come in and you're a first-time customer, you tell them Fetcher News sent you, you get a 10% discount. Now, I didn't ask, but I'm pretty sure I can do that, okay? So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with 2 more Bobcats you're going to meet on the other side of this break.
Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville. Franklin and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Yeah.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and welcome to Season 4. Yes, it's 4 seasons already, and we're at Circuit World of East Ellijay. Thank you, Shane's Rib Shack, for the meal. It's Team FYN Sports presents the 2017 GIlmer Bobcat Turf Talk. I'm here with head coach Casey Wingard, defensive coordinator, Coach Flowers, and joining us now on the couch, Tyson Elliott, the center, a junior, and Luke Morgan, a defensive tackle, sophomore. Guys, glad to have you here. Let's start out center, tackle. Let's start out with you two guys, just like the last two we had on the couch. This past Friday night, you know, you're the center, tackle. I always say, you heard this over here, you gotta own it. When you show up, you gotta own it on Monday to work on it. What are some of the things you guys are working on this week? You said, well, this didn't work, that didn't work, and we got to pick up as a team. What are some of the things that center the front line? Talk about the front line a little.
Well, for me personally, my biggest thing, and it's always been my biggest thing, is staying low. And our offensive coordinator / lineman coach this year, he's got me in a new stance that we're trying out, and I'm staying a lot lower this week so far. So pretty much I've got that almost corrected. And as a team, we're all very young, so we're making those young mistakes. And for pretty much everyone on the field, that was their first start. So,
well, let's talk about the line, okay? Now it's been a couple years ago. They used to call them, remember the Belly Gang?
Yeah.
You remember the Belly Gang?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to bring that up.
Beautiful.
They were beautiful,
Yeah.
weren't they? Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, right. So a couple years ago, coach, the defensive guys don't catch
Skinny
on.
guys.
Yeah,
Skinny
the
guys
skinny
don't
defensive guys don't catch on. But anyhow, the offensive line, okay, you're a unit. This week, all the guys getting together and saying, you know, can't let that happen anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Is everybody's coming together this week?
Yes, sir.
So able to see this is what happened last week and all the things to work on, right? What about yourself, defensive tackle?
We gotta make our reads better, and we gotta make sure we do our right job of what the coaches tell us to do, and we just gotta keep going to practice every day and making sure we listen.
You're going to be at home. You're going to be at home, a home opener this year against the Union Panthers. I think it's always best. I think every team that comes in, myself, coach, you should treat as a good team. You got a good team showing up every week, right?
Yes.
Never think right.
No.
Never think that. So you do have a good team coming to town. So are you looking at their film? Let's not give anything up. Are you looking at their film? Are you looking at some things that you're ready to contain them and things that you see you got to work on with them?
Yes, sir. Coach Taylor, he always gets us very prepared, and I'm feeling pretty confident this week, to be honest.
Coach, let's go back. Let's go back to last week and bring it into this week with the Panthers. This is a non-region game, but this is a very good test for your defense. Let's highlight a couple more things on the defensive side that you've got to watch on these Panthers that you're coaching them through this week. You know, hey, last week this, and this did not work. Didn't work. Has to work this week. This is who's coming to town. So what are some of those things you're working on this week?
We always preach, excuse me, some things we always preach is, alignment. We always say, guys, if you can get lined up, we can play ball. And then we always preach stance. It always starts with a, good low stance and your key, where your eyes, and then carrying out your responsibility well. ASKR is what we always say. And so, if we can focus on the things that, we've been preaching from the beginning, we'll do well. There's no, magical formula. We still break down film and we still have tendencies and things like that. But when it gets right down to it, we've got to do our fundamentals well and all those small things well in order to be successful. And not just do them sometimes, but do them on a consistent level.
Coach, everybody come home healthy? Everybody okay? A little banged up? Any injury reports this week or?
No, everybody's kind of getting over it, putting the past behind us, and focusing on getting some ice on some things. And I think Monday's practice going into Tuesday, finishing up today, it was a lot better than last week, and that was kind of the things we need, taking a step forward each practice we do instead of standing still or taking a step backwards. So I was pleased with practice today. Ran smoothly, went well. Kids, got after a little bit too, and saw some fire that usually, might start slipping after a game like Friday. But we got with the kids, got in their head, and I'm going to be out there front and center with them. All the coaches on the same board. We loved them up. We didn't dog them out. We're going to work on ourselves. That was the message we told the entire team, that look around. This is who is in the room with us. These are your brothers in this room. Let's focus on us right now and get better each week.
Let me ask you a question in a different way, but in kindly what I asked the guys, because this is the first year you've had an opportunity to put your staff together.
Right.
Great staff, but no matter what it is, just like a team, it takes a little bit for everybody to get in the flow of a staff. Is there some things that the staff that you guys got together, like I asked them, to say, we could do this week, we could do better at this week as a staff? Are there things that you guys are looking at a little different within the staff as far as this week?
Yes, we got together Sunday for the coaches meeting. We sat down and said, all right, here's what we did not do very well, and here's what we need to improve and think about. So, from sideline all the way to offense, defense, special teams, looking at every facet of the game, kind of breaking down film and looking at that. What can we do better for the team? Just because we're gelling together as a staff, just like the team is gelling together. So, we might have to pick up some slack here and push harder here in some certain areas. And I think we are being open as soon as that door closed in that coach's room. What's said in here stays in here. This is where we're getting better, and we're being honest with each other. I'm holding them accountable. They're holding me accountable, and we're all kind of open with what we need to accomplish, just so we can put the best product on the field Friday night.
Well, I'm for sure. I got to know you last year, and I enjoy the time we get to spend together, both of you guys here. And I do know you're the kind of guy that you got to own it. You got to go home, you got to own it, and you got to say, because it resonates out on the field with these young men. So when you come out of that coaches, is that the same way, Coach Flowers, that you at that coaching meeting just let everybody lay it out?
Yeah, this is the first staff I've been on where you could just go in and speak freely. And I think one thing that it's very different from other staffs that I've been on is instead of just making a statement, you know, a lot of times we'll start the conversation out by asking a question. How do y'all think that pregame went, or how do you think practice went today? You know, because we have our own interpretation of practice, and then somebody else might have something else. And then, you know, when you ask a question instead of making a statement, you know, that person is, you know, more likely to tell you something different than if you just say something. They're most likely going to agree with you. And so we get a lot of things done in that way. And, you know, just being, you know, friends and gelling and having the chemistry has been a huge deal for us.
Guys, you may have answered this earlier as far as staying low at center, but I still am going to bring the question back and give you an opportunity because you left. And I will say this, okay, let me open the season with saying this. If you have an awesome win and you rush so many yards and you have so many receiving yards, to me, I still would say come off the field and say, what can I do better next week, no matter what the stats say. So no matter what the status of the game is, I think everybody should always show up saying, what can I do better? How can I work harder? So what are those things? I know what you said earlier, but yourself, when you showed up Monday, what did you say? I can do better. When I started looking at film, I can do better as a teammate or work harder at. What was that for you?
Like I pointed out earlier, my biggest problem was staying high, but also I did notice I felt like the line was kind of getting down as the game went on. Maybe I could be a better teammate and try to pick them up throughout the game, keep everybody going. Because pregame, Coach said he was getting chill bumps. We were getting so loud. We were ready to go, and then we came out there and we faced a lot of adversity. I felt like I could have been a better teammate, better leader, and kept them up all game.
You walk back in this week saying we're a unit, and I like that because if you're going to be an offensive line, you got to be an offensive line. You got to be a unit, right, Coach? It's got to be. Yourself, what did you show up this week, Mr. Morgan, to say I can do better, I can work harder at?
Just like Tyson, I could stay lower on the defensive line instead of getting too high and punching with my hands like the coaches have told me to, and wrapping up better and running my feet with a tackle, and just trying to make sure I can stop them and help everyone get there.
Well, guys, I wish you well Friday night, and it is great to hear you say we're a team, and we come back Monday. Don't get down on each other. There's no need to come back, get down on each other, give each other a hard time, hit the floor, hit the turf, and start again. Right, Coach?
That's it.
So, Coach, Friday night. I'm still a little concerned about the skinny guy on defense. I mean, I'm kind of concerned about that, but
he'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
All right, Coach. We appreciate it, and we thank you very much, and look forward to Friday night. Going to be at Huff Mosley. You're looking forward to that opening Friday night there.
Yep, excited.
Why don't you tell us before we leave, for those that are at home that actually don't have an opportunity, we take for granted sometimes. We know everybody. Who is on the staff this year? Who's doing what? Let's end this like that. Who's on the staff?
Coach Flowers, defensive coordinator. Coach Taylor is offensive coordinator. Jeremy Sellers is D-line coach, special teams. Coach Tucker is DBs. Coach Gibson is linebackers. Coach Miller is A-backs.
Do I know the Sellers guy?
I don't think you've ever met him.
I don't think I've ever met him.
All
right.
Son.
Huh?
You probably met his son.
No,
Yeah.
he's met him. He's met him.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on the sarcasm.
Well, guys, Coach, one more thing before we leave. These guys keep showing up, and I'm thinking they're still in Park and Rec.
Yeah.
Is that me?
No, I mean it's gonna get there.
Huh?
We're gonna get
No,
there.
I mean I feel like I've been watching these guys since Park and Rec.
Oh.
And I show, no,
You look younger.
Thanks, Coach. You're all right.
Hey,
Coach.
I'm
You
here.
like that?
Yes.
Huh?
You look good.
You look pretty good yourself,
You look
Coach.
good. Hey.
I've been here with, and I enjoy this. I enjoy this. So this is our first show of the season. We're going to get pretty intense as we get into region play. We're going to follow this region close. It's Quad A Region 6. Just to remind you, everybody in that region is Ridgeland, Heritage, Lafayette, Southeast Whitfield, Northwest Whitfield County, Pickens. And this week, Friday night, now make your way down to Huff Mosley Stadium, Pettit Field, because 7:30 is game time. They'll be hosting the Union Panthers. We're at Circuit World in East Ellijay. Stop by and say hello and thank them for providing the location, and go over to Shane's Rib Shack and say thank you for the meal. Guys, I wish you well, and don't forget, Team FYN Sports, always promoting and highlighting young athletes in a positive way. Coach, good luck. Good luck, guys. We'll see you Friday night. We're out.